Natapok man.
Dili na mga taga.
Dili kay nakasabot man sa.
Maapin ako dyan ha. Bata, padagmak ha. Hoy, gwapo kay ko. At ang bandili. Ay, di mo yan, may nanginin nyo.
Di ka balong magandar mo kina. Wala mo.
Grabe pa.
Di mo na yung isda? Ang!
Today's Vietnam is a contrast of the old and the new. The old temples and historic sites, as opposed to the Vietnamese today, who are enjoying a growing economy and modern culture. In today's world, East meets West more than ever. What happens in Vietnam, like the fishing industry, has a direct impact on people around the world.
There's been a groundswell for some years now of retailers and food service operators wanting to know more about where their fish is coming from and wanting to make sure that where it's coming from is not damaging the environment.
Like in this California restaurant where diners are eating tuna. Here's the story behind the tuna being served. It starts with people like this Vietnamese fisherman. He's a family man, and like fathers everywhere, he's concerned about providing for his children. Most people have comfortable homes, and everyone has a motorbike or car. He's learned that to have a sustainable income, he needs to be part of a sustainable fishing industry. Mr. Tiao is captain of his own boat. They go out in the South China Sea for about 20 days at a time and catch yellowfin tuna. The work's not easy, but they're happy about recent innovations. When their holds are full, they bring their catch back to port. From there, the fish is unloaded, cataloged, and processed in a nearby plant. It's then frozen and shipped to destinations around the world, like this grocery store. Consumers can trace this fish in an American grocery store back to an improving fishery. And you might ask, how do I know this? Well, I recently went to Vietnam as the guest of Sea Delight, and I shot this short film that tells the story of what I learned.
I would like to thank the People's Committee of Tam Hoan and also all the members of the fishing community that took the time to come today. Thank you.
On my first day, I found myself in the People's Committee's meeting hall of a small fishing village. Sea Delight was leading a workshop with the fishing community to discuss the Fishery Improvement Project, a program that helps fishermen to use sustainable fishing practices. Steve, how do you think the workshop went?
Well, the community discussion in Tam Hoan went surprisingly well. I was very surprised, especially among the members of the fishing community, how much support they had for the Tuna Fishery Improvement Project.
The meeting had fishermen, local government, non-government agencies like the World Wildlife Fund, and the tuna importer Sea Delight.
How to improve fishing is what the community wants. We're all very excited.
The meeting discussed 3 goals of the Fishery Improvement Project: traceability, improving logbook data collection, and training the community to be onboard observers.
Do we have anybody here who's willing to do observer training, to become an observer?
Onboard observers are needed to gather accurate scientific information of what's caught.
The best idea is choosing 5 young, enthusiastic captains to be training observers.
They liked the idea, and they probably didn't really exactly understand the job. But as soon as we told them, that somebody gets paid to do it, their attitude was a lot more open-minded about getting young people or old people from the community to try the job as well. Is being an observer a possible career for some of the people in the community? And I'm not really qualified to answer that either, but I would pose it to our colleagues from WWF.
And I like the idea of having someone close to the fishing community, right? Even a fisherman, to be doing that. There's also the issue of the independent verification.
Why is traceability important for your fishing community?
The second topic was traceability.
One of the most important reasons is the customer, the buyer in America, wants to know where their fish came from.
The meeting is important to tell fishers about traceability so that the importing countries know the source of their fish.
Customers don't want to buy fish that's from an illegal, unreported source. They don't want to buy fish that's from a misrepresented fishery. They want to know where their fish came from, and they want to know as much about it as they can.
Steve showed the fishers that one simple way to mark where the fish came from is to tie an identifying tail tag to each fish.
How many are filling out this kind of logbook? Looks like I'm preaching to the choir here.
I think we had a lot of good ideas suggested and a lot of stuff to move forward with.
One of the recent success stories was the bycatch mitigation program that introduced these circle hooks to the Vietnam tuna fishery. It started in 2008 when WWF Vietnam, DCAFI-REP, and Sub-DCAFI-REP province offices distributed free circle hooks to fishermen to avoid unwanted catches, and onboard observers were deployed to observe their use. When the success of the circle hooks was confirmed, Sea Delight, in partnership with WWF, led a program in 2012 for circle hook distribution throughout their source fishing vessels.
And we were giving them away for free, with no strings attached, literally, just trying to get them to try a circle hook.
The circle hook has a good effect by not catching unwanted animals like dolphins and turtles.
Fishermen quickly discovered that circle hooks worked as well or better than the old hooks, especially as they began switching to handline fishing. I asked Steve to explain the new benefits of handline fishing.
Their carbon footprint is less, they use less fuel, they use less bait, they don't have to drive around as much, they catch the same amount of fish or more for a lot less effort. So it's a win-win for them, and it's a win-win for the environment too.
In my opinion, sustainable fishing needs both fish quality and economic efficiency. I spend $1,000 for one fishing trip with 6 crew members, so I need a good income. But if I catch all the fish now, what will be left for the next year? I have to protect the future for my children.
Vietnamese very much value their families. Their children are treasures to them. And so, of course, a community with a sustainable source of income is absolutely important to them. Most of the people in Tom Juan, that's their livelihood, is either fishing or related to the fishery industry.
As I was leaving Vietnam, I realized that I learned a lot from my trip. I'd been aware of the need to maintain the world's fisheries, but I didn't know how it could be accomplished or who's doing it. I was glad to see communities a world away who are committed to sustainable methods, both for end consumers and for their own families. It's a win-win situation, and it's good to know that companies like Sea Delight and others are not just trying to keep the fish stocks sustainable, but the communities as well. Hi.